Hey, yo, what's going on with it? Once again, bros, women, bronies, and pegasisters, otakaziki, kamos. I'm especially talking to you guys out there. This is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Nintendo Sony Free 2011, aka Cruising Guide 2009. Of course, you guys are rest of this channel, check out freedomnovel.com. Of course, Trouble or Susan on that if any people are are interested in that business partnership program. Best partnership I've ever had. Links to the description box down below if any annotation aside if any people are interested in that type of shit. And without further ado, let's begin. Let's get this started. Hopefully, this works. Fingers fucking crossed because it fucked me over a little bit when you saw that Power Rangers video I did back on Tuesday because it's Friday afternoon as I'm doing this video. But that won't matter, of course. This might not be uploaded in another day or two. But as always, let's fucking begin. So, actually, not one, but two stories to give you. And before I do keep going on, because most of you are probably gonna skip this video anyways, except for the 50 plus people that actually saw my reaction review for the Pokemon Sun Moon X and Y thing. I apologize for my headphone users. I did give it an explicit warning on one of the annotations, unless any of you guys read the description box down below. It said that down there for anyone that was watching on tablets or smartphones, since annotations don't work on YouTube for the YouTube mobile part. Many people are are using that side of the internet for YouTube. So yeah, maybe a small explicit warning that I might end up blowing up your eardrums if you don't turn on the volume, where I get extremely insanely hyped. So hopefully I didn't go anyone deaf or nobody ends up filing a lawsuit on me for that shit, because that would suck ass if that happened. But anyways, I actually have two stories to talk to you about. This actually was around Tuesday, which was around the exact same time the whole Pokemon Sun Moon thing was going on. Unfortunately, I didn't get time to talk about it because it was happening around 8, 9 o'clock. And I was real tired after the 4 videos I did, plus my voice would. I was still kind of feeling a little bit sick. I actually thought it was going to take me a week or two to get better. It only took because it was like on a Monday when I got sick. And it's Friday now, so it only took me like half a week, maybe 4 or 5 days until I got better. So I'm feeling a little bit more, not under the weather, but over it, if that makes any sense. But anyways, I got the two article session reviews I'm going to be reading on today. Unfortunately, as much as it hurts me to say this, not as bad as the piece of shit Donald Trump. I'm not even going to get into fucking politics. That's not what my channel's about at all. It's from one of the real big giant like cash cow companies that really don't give a shit about gamers, only care about money and profits and marketing, like how GameSpot and Game Informer and other places like how Game Trailers used to be in IGN. It's unfortunately it's IGN. An article comes from that person that created it. Hopefully I don't fuck up their name. I apologize if I do. And at the same time I kind of don't, because they only give a shit about money. Well, a lot of the billion-dollar companies only care about money. It's from Matt Porter, so not really a shout out to him. I guess give him a little nod or a clap. One of those awkward like slow claps. And then the other one, I actually have a little bit more of a better resource articles from pauseresume.com. The person that wrote that down, that completed this article. It's a very super long one, by the way. You guys are feel free to read it with me on your own separate time if any people want to see it or not. Let's see, and let's see. The person's name on here, it's a very super long ass article. Let's see. Huh. That's kind of weird. Could have sworn there would have been some of that. I don't know, I guess it says editorial. If any people want to actually put it on there. It's a super long ass article. It's from April 12th of 2015. I know it's almost like a month and a half old, but it's a lot better compared to the ones that were December 2015 talking about this news. About Heideo Kojima, the one that was one of the billion-dollar CEO creators. Not for Konami. Well, he was working for Konami until he unfortunately got fired and terminated. Yeah, from that place. So it's very sad, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna read that one second. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'll probably just read half of it. But this one's a lot more shorter. So from IGN, yay. But really couldn't find this article anywhere else. I actually found it on a Reddit post not too long ago, a couple days ago. So shout out to the person that gave me on the Reddit post. I don't have a Reddit account. I just go there as a guest. So yeah, don't follow me on there or 4chan. I never have and never will get accounts from those. As most of it just a cesspool of the internet, like how fucking World Star Hip Hop and Tumblr used to be. Yeah, I really don't like those social media sites that much. But anyways, let's begin. That's just my own personal opinion. You guys can feel free to agree or disagree with me. And yeah. Oh, and I still have another small update to tell you guys before I get this thing started. I know there was a Japanese trailer, the Pokemon Sun Moon trailer. Unfortunately, as bad as I really don't want to admit it, I'm going to have to admit it. It was kind of clickbait when I made that Pokemon Sun Moon reaction review segment, because I I only reacted to unfortunately, the English one. I didn't get to see the Japanese one until like a couple hours later. I actually saw that on my own personal time off of YouTube, in the world of real life. So yeah, sadly, I didn't get to do a reaction review segment here because I actually wanted to see that one on my own, see what was a couple of differences. There was a couple of them, by the way, that were a lot more different. I'm probably going to get to a breakdown, trailer, analysis, thesis, theory review on that soon. Probably tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. Actually, not Sunday, Saturday or Monday, because Sunday I'm not going to be doing any videos. Many people have been keeping up my Twitter and Instagram accounts. You guys know I'm going to be showing my cousin / friend that's coming out from Cali around a little bit of the strip down here in Vegas or whatever. So, yeah, expect no videos on Sunday. I'm going to be way too tired to be doing that. So, either Saturday or Monday, I'm going to do a video on that. So, stay on the lookout for that. Just a little bit of an update. And thank you very much in advance. If this video either goes before or after I hit 700 subscribers, I got 657 or 697 right now. So, thanks to every single one of you for supporting me so damn long, man. Bottom of my heart, it's amazing. Couldn't have got here without you, man. I know it's a small number. I know Tyre Magnus always says this is 1 million subscribers. I'm going for 1,000. That'd be great if it ever happens. If it doesn't, I'll still keep continuing doing YouTube videos. But here we go. So it says by Matt Porter, Konami, and this is something to do with Konami. Konami profits rise after switching focuses to mobile. And hopefully I have to do a two-part of this. I apologize if I do in advance. Here we go. Konami has released the financial results in the fiscal year of the ending of March 31st. And its profits have increased over the same period of last year. Konami's total revenue is up to 249 billion yen, aka $2.3 billion in the United States currency, American currency, dollars, which is up from 218.2 billion yen in financial years of 2015. Total profits before tax is up to 23.8 billion yen, $218 million. From 17 billion yen last year. That is a shitload of money, ladies and gentlemen. Holy fucking crap. Woo! And buy half the fucking world's money with that land with that money. The company's total operating profit, for the financial year is sitting at 24.7 billion yen, $26 billion, which is a large increase from last year's 15.3 billion yen, $140 million. Last year, Konami announced that it would be now focusing, and it says it on a little red line, so I guess it's really important, ladies and gentlemen, all my little kitty millennials that are watching out there, be focusing on mobile games. This followed such events as a cancellation of Silent Hills and Metal Gear Solid's creator Hideo Kojima's reported departure for the company. Konami highlighted the mobile game, and I'm probably going to unfortunately butcher this name a little bit because it's in Japanese. I apologize for Asian out there. I'm not trying to stereotype you guys. I'm just reading it as I'm going to try my best to pronounce it. I think it's called Jikyu Pafuro Puroyaku. Puyayaku. I don't know. Puyayaku. Jikayaku, Poryafu, and Puroyayuka, which surpassed $22 million. I doubt if I said that right at all. Sales of Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, because the only language I know is English and Spanish, that's it. Phantom Pain were now disclosed, despite Konami's troubled year, which included reports of grim work of conditions and did indeed end with Konami leaving forming a new studio area complex. The company has seen increases of revenues and profits. The interesting shifts of focuses have apparently worked out so far. And just says something about Matt Porter. Matt Porter is a freelancing writer based in London. Make sure to visit what he thinks is the best websites in the world, but is actually just his Twitter page. That's pretty funny. Now let's go on to the second one. I'm going to leave my overall thoughts, views, and opinions when I read half of this article. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's literally like 300 to 500 pages long. I cannot handle that type of artwork. That type of article reading for that damn long. So yeah, so it's from editorial. I don't even know what that is. So this is the full story of Hideo Kojima. This was April 12, 2016. So almost a month and a half old. I know it's a couple weeks old, but it's better than 6 months old because most of the other articles I got from this one was from November and December of last year. And that's really old. It's like 6-7 months ago. So it says the first in our yeah. Let me read that again. The first in our in-depth editorials focuses on a falling between Hideo Kojima and Konami. It was a tale that took up the bulk of the news story in 2015, and we tried to collaborate the entire saga in one handy piece. It's hard to imagine now, but in late 2012, Hideo Kojima, I don't know, was overseeing much of Konami's video games output. In fact, you could go as far as to say that the Metal Gear creator, ran the show at the Japanese giant. Around that time, Mr. Kojima was putting together the finishing touches of the brand new Fox engine he was planning to reveal in The Phantom Pain to an unsuspecting audience at the Spike Video Game Awards. The title would take advantage of the new engine under the guise, it's G-U-I-S-E, not G-U-I-S, not Five Guys, I like that McDonald's ripoff, but it is what it is. The poor version of that. Let's see. Was just finalized a deal with Konami to take over the next Silent Hill project. Wow, I have no idea. I had no idea that was even real. But where did it all go wrong? Fast forward a few years later and the relationships lay in tatters. Konami ruthlessly withdrew Mr. Kojima's name from the Metal Gear Solid 5's box art and subsequently promotional materials in the lead up of the release. When questioned about Kojima's whereabouts in the aftermath of the release, Konami relayed to the media that Mr. Kojima was on holiday, when in actual fact he had already been released, having said goodbye to his team at a leaving party weeks later after the game's launch. But at that point in 2012, it would have been hard to predict that the outcome we see before us today. We may never know the full story thanks to NDA's non-disclosure agreement, in parentheses, which prohibits parties from disclosing information into a company dispute. But tracing the story from its inception, and even before that, may lead us to an idea of how this once loved employee was let go into the most public of circumstances. But perhaps Konami's displeasure with Kojima and his development team started before Metal Gear Solid 5 was in full production. Back in 2011, oh shit, it takes me to my sophomore, juniors in community college. Holy fucking hell. And that was a couple years ago, but still. Back in 2011, Konami and other Japanese developers were fighting against the tide of mobile success. Companies like Diana, oh, they were the same ones that are trying to make the NX with mobile next year, in 2017. I wouldn't be surprised. Rest in peace to Mr. the late and great Iwata. And of course, nowadays with Mr. Tatsumi Kishiyami, Reggie Fils-Aimé, Shigeru Miyamoto, and all the other Japanese and English Nintendo guys over there. I'm not talking about Nintendo right now, though. That's for something else. Oh yeah, back when Japanese developers were fighting against the tide of more mobile success, companies like Diana, and Gree were using the free-to-play model to generate commercial success and stature Japanese television, with the adverts promoting the idea that playing video games for free was a better idea than paying a few thousand yen later for the latest console title. Fast forward to present day, and mobile dominates Japanese landscapes, so much so that even Nintendo and the Bastions, I'm probably going to say that one wrong. I've never heard of that word in my life. Bastions of the console have struck up a deal with Dina in order to keep up with the times. Konami made a decision to tentatively step up into the potential lucrative mobile games marketing in the early 2010. Within months, they struck gold. And then it says on another title right here, did a Japanese only mobile game kill Metal Gear? After this, I'm probably going to stop because there's like 1,000 other ones. Actually, no, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 other title paragraphs out there if you guys want to read those separate stories on your own. I'll leave links in the description box down below. Will be provided, of course. Alright, here we go. Did a Japanese-only mobile game kill Metal Gear? Konami's first mobile hits Dragon Collection and Sengoku Collection, released in 2010, and helped the companies boost their mobile profits in almost 80%. Konami has said, actually no, Konami saw profits increase year on year, 23 billion yen, $288 million in U.S. currency, and then there's some in like British pounds and euros. I guess you guys can read that part in your own. A staggering amount where you consider fellow Japanese developers Sega and Capcom saw revenue fall. Between then, Dragon Collection and Sengoku Collection boasted 9 million units, actually 9 million unique users, which most of which were spending money on microtransaction within both games. The games themselves were pronounced with minimal cost to the publishers, yet they managed to draw profits which was considerably more than initial investments. And it's here that Konami as a publisher on video games began to consider its future big name, big budget console space. Developing for consoles, starting to get a little sweaty here, plus I put a little bit of lotion on my face and arms, so it's starting to feel like soap a little bit. I had to do it during this time because once it hits May, June through September, it's super dry and hot out here in Vegas. Ugh, I gotta put a lot more lotion on, so I apologize if that kind of grosses you out, but it's truth. So it says developing for consoles was becoming increasingly less appealing to companies who didn't hold a major sports licensing like EA with FIFA and Madden. We're already having annual smash hits. See Activision with Call of Duty and Ubisoft, and with Assassin's Creed. And that's in parentheses as well, just in case you want to know. And let's continue. Konami had to make a big decision. Its biggest title, Metal Gear, wasn't an annual release, and by the time Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain made it into public hands, and almost a decade had passed since its last console iteration. Likewise, let me rewind that back. Pro Evolution Soccer was also at a low ebb. I've never heard of that name. EBB. Losing year on year to FIFA and struggling to keep up, thanks to in part to a lack of licensing. And it says in a small little quote, like cursive, real super fancy writing, parentheses and sentences grammar, says mobile games Dragon Collection may have been a spark that led to Konami away from big budgeted titles. And then it keeps continuing. It's at this point that Konami narrowed down, quote unquote, its console development and saw mobile games as a key driver to its future success. But in contrast to Konami's change of the focus, Konami was already close to completing the Fox engine, a development tool that would also enable Konami Productions to produce most graphically appealing Metal Gear today. It may have taken another 4 years for it to have come to head. But Kojima and Konami were moving in separate directions. And then the rest you can read on your own because those are way too fucking long, the other 6 paragraphs. So hopefully you guys read that with me. If you're not, it's totally understandable. So overall thoughts, views, and opinions. I know there's a couple other pictures on there that really had nothing to do with the Konami thing, but there was a couple of them that were like slot machines or whatever. And I've seen them. Actually, this was going on for about 3 years already. I think late 2013 and 2014. Could be wrong. Overall thoughts, views, and opinions. Before I get into that, I had a really crazy ass experience last year. I think it was like around October of last year. Me and my roommates, I know one of them, it's crazy fucking sound. I think one of his ex-girlfriends or fiancés or whatever were coming from, I forget the word is because I've never really talked to her that much. She's kind of a little bit of a fucking cunt most of the time. I think it was like Arizona or New Mexico. It was one of those states. So fuck that cunt if she ever comes back here. Although when my roommate doesn't invite her ever again. She was a complete fucking bitch. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. To that girl, you know who the fuck you are. If you recognize this face. But other than that, as far as that all goes, yeah. I actually saw this this crazy anime manga looking style, like Shonen Jump anime female characters that are dressed in like bunny rabbit slippers and all that. Most of you guys already seen it already. They were like in beer costumes, little funny kimono suits, like geisha outfits and all that. And some were very sexually, provocatively explicit. Not pure hentai, but like softcore hentai. Or like sentai. That's what it was. Like, if any people have ever seen an anime series, High School of the Dead, it wasn't like pure porn like hentai. It was like more sentai and kind of like exaggerated big giant tits and ass and pussy all over the place. I seen it like that, and they were on all these brand new giant ass fucking casino, like digital like casino. What do they call? I don't really like gamble very much. I only do like maybe once or twice out of the year. But if I ever do, I'm not completely hooked onto it, thank God. Because if I was, I'm gonna be talking right now. I probably wouldn't be living in this fucking place right now. I'd probably be broke on the streets, a homeless bum right now. If that were the case. That's why I only do it like once or twice out the year, and that's it. But I decided to try it out. It was very funny. It even had these like funny ass otaku, dare I say it, fucking weeaboo little like aspects towards it, and then it sounded very over sexualized. It even made the moans and the grunts of like moaning and sex and like orgies and shit like that. It's kind of weird as fuck. It even said the Oni-chan thing. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's absolutely ridiculous. But whatever. Now I'm going on try. Let's go with Mr. Hideo Kojima and Hideo Kojima, however you want to say it. I'm actually going to get to the first story first, the one that IGN talked about with Konami and everything, only switching to mobile. I honestly never really gave a shit too much about the Konami company. They were pretty much ass a little piece of shit faggot motherfucking pieces of fucking crap. I never gave a damn about their employees. They treated them like shit most of the time, and they were really unstable, very hostile conditions. They have these small little like things and all that. I know Alpha Mega Sins made a video about it about a year or two ago. So shout out to him for making that story way before I did. I'll leave the link to the video in the description box down below if I decide to put it there, but most of you probably already know who Alpha Mega Sins is. He's probably like 700, 800,000 something subscribers. He's way bigger than my channel is. And Monday Man, many people know those ranters. They're really big on ranting in the video game community, especially. Actually, they ripped a fucking asshole on Nina Sarkeesian like 2 years ago, not too long ago. But other than that, yeah, it's really sad and fucking pathetic that actually came into pass. Actually, let me get the story out really quick so I know what the hell I'm talking about. So it says, yeah, Konami profits rise. Actually, no. Konami profits, yeah, that's what I said. I was going to say promotes. Profits rise after switching focuses to mobile games. They pretty much don't give a shit about the public anymore. They only care about the microtransaction stuff, which I cannot give a fucking shit about. There's very few games I cared about for Konami, like how Contra was back in the day. And like they said, Sengoku. I think King of Fighters was made by Konami, correct me if I'm wrong on that. A lot of dancing games came out from that, like DDR and all that shit. I was very huge fanboy of that stuff back in the day. That's the only thing I like, not really from Konami, it's from Sony now, is that whole Hatsune Miku thing that's going out. The Project Diva, or Project Maria. That's actually a really good ass dancing game. I really love playing the fuck out of that on my PC. I never really played it on like PS4 yet. I have played it on PS3, but not PS4 yet. But other than that, yeah, that's just a little insight you didn't know about me, just in case you're a brand new person, subscriber, main viewer out there. But excluding that shit, that's not what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, there's a few titles I did like from Konami as a 90s kid, obviously. It was a very huge time for them, especially in the arcade state. In the 80s and 90s was an extremely huge ass thing. I want to say up to the early 2000s, they kind of started dying out, so about 2002, 2003. Fortunately, that was my early teen years. I started seeing it go down out of business. Once I think it was 04, 05, mid-2000s. That's when it completely just died out here in the United States, unfortunately. There's very few places that have arcade games every now and then. Mostly they're either sports bars or just regular bars where people are drinking and smoking. I really don't like going to bartending places. There's a lot of people who have fights in there. Somebody ends up getting their fucking head blown off and explode, especially a lot of bullshit gun violence that goes on nowadays. Not going to get into that topic at all. That's usually the place where I avoid most of the time. And if I do drink every once in a while, it's usually 4 or 6 times out of the year. It's not really strong, hard liquor, just mulled liquor. That's the real smooth stuff, or beer. Once in a while, not every time though. But excluding that stuff, now give me little bits and pieces of my personal life. I really don't like that. Actually, no, I do like it, but I'm not going to give you the full detail. Fuck that. Sorry, guys. Not that I don't trust you. I don't know who's watching this video. And you know who the fuck you are. To fucking invade fucking people's privacy. I'm not talking about hackers either. Or the fucking idlers. Or any of those guys. Or trolls. No, I'm not talking about them. Something a little bit worse than that. But other than that, let's get back to this. You know, I guess if you want to call them like they made the right decision in Japan as far as all their Japanese fanboys and fangirls for Konami. Yeah, they did a huge ass fucking success over there. You know what? Props goes out to them for making a real good ass success for the microtransaction and all the all the little cell phone mobile games that I'm not going to give a complete shit about because I'm really not a big mobile person. That's usually a lot of millennials and shit out there because I'm Generation Z. I gotta keep pointing it out, stating the obvious, because I wasn't born as a 90s. I was born in the early, actually mid-late 80s. I want to get that shit turned into play. But other than that, oh, thank God I'm not like these brainwashed millennials sometimes. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Trying to hold my tongue sometimes, because sometimes shit really pisses me the goddamn fuck off when I have to talk about certain things like this. But other than that, long story short with them, you know, I guess as business marketing strategy, they were a little bit successful, but at the same time, they kind of fucked us in the ass over here in the United States, Canada, and like the rest of the world. They didn't really like that transition too much. They could go back to consoling anytime they want with the Xbox One, PS4, 4.5, which is probably going to turn into Project Neo, and Nintendo NX next year. They could go back into the console gaming industry, but the thing is, they see this as a bigger marketing plan, and then they have all these new little millennial like kids that have no idea what the fuck video gaming consoles, physical boxes were, like the old school SNES and Nintendo and all that. And the only thing they see is microtransactions, these tiny little like things right here. It's actually wanted to show you guys. It's as small as these things, these little microchips that they put in amiibos and all that. You know, that's probably what they see as video games nowadays. Something that they can't see because it's already installed on smartphones and tablets and everything that's technology based that we use nowadays. But then I'm starting to go into conspiracy theory shit there, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up about that little scenario. That's usually some of my Criticism Guy 2009 videos and channels I normally talk about, which I'm going to be talking about Saturday or Monday. Most likely it's going to be a Monday, so stay tuned for that. It's on my other channel, though. My least popular one. It is what it is. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Long story short, yes, marketing business strategy-wise, they definitely made a wise decision for Japanese viewers. Ones in Japan, but everywhere else around the world, they pretty much fucked us over. As far as entertainment goes. Because I really don't care about that. Especially anyone in my Z generation or early, mid-late 20s, I didn't have respect for. Anyone under that age, sorry, I still don't have respect for. I still see you as a child. I apologize if you get offended by that. I'm trying to be age discriminatory, but let's keep it moving. Now, the second one I really, really wanted to talk about before this video goes over 20 minutes, which it probably has already, unfortunately. If you're still here, thank you very much for being with me for this long period of time. It's probably getting dark as fuck out here now. I wanted to do a second video. It's going to be a tiny bit more controversial. It's about Toby Games, which I cannot give a shit about that dude. Not trying to hate on Canadians or any of that, but it is what it is. Yeah, man, as far as that goes, Mr. Heideo Kojima actually going to Sony. He gets transferred from like Konami to Sony. I'm really, really glad Sony decided the CEO executive guys, I think one from the UK and one from Japan, they actually decided to make Mr. Kojima a part of that team. And it's funny because I'm not even a really big Metal Gear Solid fan. I have respect and a little bit of loyalty and a strand of a small, enthusiastic, nostalgic memories on it. Because my older cousin, when she used to play on the N64 and PS2, when I used to rent it out all the time, she always wanted me to rent it from Blockbuster back in the days. I was like 10, 11 years old at that time. Early 2000s, after 1999 was done. This is the thing. I really, really didn't like Metal Gear Solid, but since me and my cousin have a really cool relationship, we're really like almost like best friends of the world. I decided to rent it a couple times, the first and second Metal Gear Solid for PS1, PS2. Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't like the best game in the world. I wasn't really big into the stealth thing. I really liked that James Bond GoldenEye game that she had for the N64. That's the only reason why I ever rented it. I had so many good ass nostalgic feel, emotional memories as a 90s, early 2000s kid at that time. Playing that fucking game was absolutely awesome. Tremendously beautiful, very immersive experiences, even though it was kind of like the Polygon era. But at the same time, I really like that realism that it immersed you into those really amazing video game titles. Even though I wasn't really the biggest fan for stealth video games and all that, I did like Siphon Filter and the other games, like Splinter Cell. I was a huge fanboy for those games, but Metal Gear Solid, it was meh. It was alright. I gave it like a pretty much C+, C minus at that time. And of course, my brain was, at that time, I was still really big into platforming games. I was extremely huge into puzzling games like, what's it called? Especially the PS1 era when they had, I'm trying to remember the fucking names for it. It was that one where it was like the arcade game. Bust-A-Move. Bust-A-Move 1 and 2, I was really, really huge fans of that. If any of you guys are 90s kids, you know exactly what fucking game I'm talking about. It was that little scenario. And then there was another one, Parappa the Rappa. I know he was in that fucking game. It was kind of like Dance Dance Revolution. I think it was like Parappa Rappa 1.2.5. I don't even know what that fucking game was. But it was really, really fucking cool. I love games like those. Nowadays, you don't really see stuff like that anymore. Even if you do, they're mostly like Japanese idol, like little manga fucking lolicon bitches or whatever dancing all over the fucking place. I'm not gonna get into that topic at all. Like the whole idol like thing. I'm not really feeling it that much, very much, but I do like Hatsune Miku games. I know it's kind of me being a contradictory, hypocritical bastard, but at the same time, I gotta tell how it is. And as far as Mr. Kojima getting like, I still have a little bit of respect for the man. I never really gave a shit about the Silent Hill games at all. I'm sorry for those fanboys and fangirls and fan guys that grew up in the 90s. I was really big in the Silent Hill series of Resident Evil, but I wasn't feeling that very much. Plus, unfortunately, I wasn't really allowed to play that at that time because when I was still living with my parents, who were extremely religious into Christianity, all that shit, I wasn't allowed to play that most of the time. So I missed out on that thing. But I did play it a few times at my cousin's house. I mean, it wasn't that I was. It's not that I was scared or afraid to play those games. It just they didn't really attract me very much to the horror and crazy creepypasta stuff. And this is even before creepypasta was even a thing. This was like what 99 to 2001, 2002, 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, I could not give two shits on the fuck about that type of stuff. It just I wasn't really attracted to those type of things. Not because I hated them or I was scared or nervous or afraid. It just gave me a big migraine and headache at that time. It was just bullshit jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. Who would have thought years later, in 2014, 2015, once I hit my 20s, which I'm still at now, that the whole Five Nights at Freddy's thing would just literally take off like fucking wildfire and fame and popularity and a whole bunch of jokes and memes. I would have never thought years later that would still be a thing. But apparently I was wrong. 10, 11-year-old me did not know what was going on into the far future. I had no idea it was going to be a huge thing. That's why I didn't really give a shit about Silent Hill series. I'm sorry if any of you guys get offended by that, but I just wasn't a real big fanboy of that title at that time during its time period, the Polygon era of video games. And that's pretty much all I had to say. And shout out to Hideo Kojima for making Metal Gear Solid, though. I did like that game a little bit. It was alright, decent game. It was a good game, but it wasn't the greatest games, you know? Just saying, just putting it out there. It is a little bit nostalgic, but not super nostalgic. I mean, especially with the little quirks and comedy things that they have. Like, he would go under the box and hide, and he would just go into a little stealth mode. It was funny. Now they Siphon Filter and Splinter Cell, they're a little bit more better for me. And that's it. Links in the description box down below to both of the articles that I read today and the annotation on the side that you saw earlier, and I'm done here. Peace out once again, bros, women, bronies, pegasisters, otakus, ikimos out there. We'll see you when I see you. And guys, have a good day, have a good night, wherever you are at around the world. Don't drink, smoke at the same time. Don't take the reckless. Keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it chill, get liked out there. And until then, next guys, peace out, ladies and guys. Stay tuned, more videos coming soon. Brand new videos on channels every single day. Stay in the grind, stay healthy. Be easy, be you, do it yourself. Peace out, I'm like sauerkraut. I'm gone, getting out of here. Stay tuned, more future content, channel, stay more updates. And yeah, stay safe, everyone. Stay tuned, more future content in this channel, like I just said. Stay safe, everyone. Stay tuned, more future videos. And not rest in peace to Hideo Kojima. I would have been really bad if I said that. Best of luck to Mr. Kojima making even more better games besides Metal Gear Solid series. I grew up with a few of them, but not that many. After the PS2, PS3 era, I got out. See you later. Deuces, I'm out, and stay tuned more future videos.